Hi everybody, Susan Friesen here with eVision Media, and today I'm with a very, very special guest, Francesca. And Francesca just finished interviewing me, and so I'm returning the favor, and I'm going to ask her a few questions about personal branding, because I don't know Francesca very well, but I know of her. I've seen her around at many networking events and do's, and I know that you embody personal branding from head to toe, inside and out. And I just thought it would be a perfect opportunity to ask you about your thoughts for women entrepreneurs especially, but men too. They need to understand the importance of personal branding. And what is personal branding to you, and what is some advice that you can provide to our audience about personal branding and why it's so important?
When it comes to business, personal branding, a lot of people confuse personal branding, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people who are in business think that personal branding is only for people who have a business where they are the figure of the business, versus a company or a business where, I don't know, let's just say an accounting company, where you're not necessarily thinking of the accountant or the CEO of that company as the personal branding, the face of the company. Well, the reality is that regardless of what your business is, if you are the person behind that business, you must match the branding of your business, or your business needs to be matching to you, because basically it is an extension of who you are. And in order to be, I know a lot of people use the word authenticity, and I'm almost like, I don't like that word because it's overused, but I understand why it is used so much. I feel that personal branding is basically a means of showing to the world who you are, the best side of you. So it's not hiding who you are. When I say it's just putting your most professional look out there to the world. And ultimately, people will believe your business and what you provide based on how you look. So let's say we have thunder.
Wow.
We have thunder. let's just say you have an accounting business, and I get to meet you. And this happens a lot, so no offense to accountants or people. This is just an example, because it can be in any, like I see it in all kinds of industry. I'm just using it for this, and as a metaphor. And what I see is that, well, I sit behind a desk, or I don't really see people because I do all the accounting, and they don't match the branding of their company. So here they have this beautiful logo, this beautiful website, the beautiful social media presence that seems to be very tied with with their potential clients and the existing clients. And then when you meet the person, it does not match any of everything you've seen, and the person is dressed down, maybe their hair is all messy. We all have bad days. We all have bad days. But you just see that this person is like this on a regular basis, and is not really taking care of themselves. Now, if you're an accountant, and I meet you, you're going to do my books, and you're going to do my accounting. Now, I think that maybe if you don't take care of yourself, if you can't represent accounting, because that is all about details, and you're not really paying attention to details, your credibility goes down the drain, in my opinion, because I can't take you seriously. And now I feel that maybe all that is out there, your website, your logo, and that social media is all a front. And that you're not really what you say. You're not who you say you are. Even though you may be the best accountant in the world. But it's just we judge based on appearances. And I don't know if you know this, but I actually do have a background in image consulting, so I am certified in that, and I know a lot about.
See, I knew she knew what she was talking about.
I know a lot about the psychology of what you're clothing. The same as when you build a website, the same as when you create a logo, same as when you choose your colors in your business. There is the psychology behind that. The same applies to us. So the type of clothes you wear, the fabric you wear, based on who you are in your personal style and your business. And just think about this, like the bankers the ones that are, you know, that handle a lot of the big money, they wear the navy suits because navy is the color of trust,
yeah.
blue, right? And you don't see them wearing red suits,
Right. Yeah.
handling your finances,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So there's so much communication that happens that is not spoken. I call it unspoken communication that happens just visually. And when you're having a business, if your presence, the way you present yourself, with your actions, not with what you're saying, because it's only 7% when you first meet somebody.
Right.
You know those stats.
Yeah.
If this does not match what you are offering and how you want to be represented,
There's a disconnect.
there's a disconnect, and it's going to be a bigger struggle and a bigger challenge to acquire those clients, to retain those clients, because it's, so when you say, you see my personal branding is because I have that knowledge. I understand, depending on who I'm meeting, depending on which client I am meeting with, and what they do, and what their background is, and how they think, I will wear different things.
Interesting.
And even when I go speak, depending on who the audience is, and what my message is, because it has to be an integrity with everything. So it's not staging. I want to make sure that people understand that it's not pretending. It's not made up. It's communication at a different level. That's all it is.
Right.
It's just if I want to make a connection with an audience, I will wear a specific color that I know works for me specifically, because it's not the same color for everyone.
Right.
There's that too.
Right.
And by the way, I'm not giving myself a plug because I don't do this anymore. I don't do image
So
consulting.
you can't hire her to do image.
No, I don't do that.
I
I don't do that. I do give suggestions to my clients because I have that knowledge. But
Yeah.
that is, I don't go out shopping for clients and do any of that. But it's that important.
Yeah.
It goes down that deep. So I suggest when it comes to personal branding, to learn about to learn what the personal style is and what it is saying about you, and is it matching the business you're trying to promote?
Right.
Like, is it serving you, or is it fighting against you?
Fighting against you and giving the wrong impression. And what about, like, personal branding? Our appearance is a major component, because as you say, we have like 5 seconds to have a lasting impression on somebody, whether favorable or unfavorable. We were talking about that earlier, about 5-second rule on the website. Yours is a 2-second rule on the website, but that happens in person too. You know within 5 seconds whether you want to know this person, whether you want to get to, whether you're going to like them or not, or whether you're going to trust them or not. And so outward appearance and our mannerisms, how we speak, all of that is a major component. But what about the internal branding that also needs to happen? And I know that this is super important, especially for entrepreneurs as well. It's what's going on in the mind as well that portrays that brand.
For me personally, I can't speak for everybody else. I can only speak for myself. For me, personal branding when it comes to the inside is to be true and genuine. True to myself first, and genuine, and that's part of my integrity, because just be who you are, like really the essence of who you are.
Yeah.
And when you have that down, when you feel 100% comfortable with who you are, and getting past the little voices that we have in our heads that say you're not good enough, and that you're smart enough, or whatever that voice is, or who do you think you are to be doing this, to just kind of say, thank you very much for sharing that. I'm still going to do it my way.
Yeah.
And just be 100%, when you are genuine and you have other people's best interest at heart, to me that's the essence of personal branding.
Yeah.
Because then it matches, that is what dictates the outside.
Yes.
So it starts from the inside.
It starts from the inside.
It starts from the inside. And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe, and you have to have a good mission on why you're doing what you're doing, and be honest, and be open about your pitfalls, and and be accountable. Not blaming other people. That's a biggie too.
Yeah, and that really resonates with people. That is a part of that you know, that determination whether or not I should trust you. If I know that you're being genuine, then it's a no-brainer to trust you. But if I feel like you're putting on a falsehood or pretending to be somebody else or saying things that I've heard other experts say, you know, and you're trying to be that other expert, not you personally.
No, I get it.
You know, then that trust breaks down, and you're running up a uphill battle.
Yeah, just be you. Just be you. Just be
So-
you and match what it is. I mean, because you don't have a business as an entrepreneur. I think there are very few people who are entrepreneurs who are doing a business they don't like. I think most people like what they do, and they want to serve their clients and their customers, and they really want the best for their customers. So come from that place. If you come from that place, everything else, you know. So when I say, you know, make your appearance match your branding, that is part of caring for your customer.
Yeah.
Because I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, I don't care, we're casual here, especially here where we live. There are a lot of people think, oh, we tend to get more casual because we had, you know. No. Stand out.
Yeah.
Stand
That's
out.
your
That's it.
opportunity.
You want to stand out, yeah.
Yeah. Take advantage of the opportunity of standing out, like you say.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about what you do. I know you work with entrepreneurs, and personal branding, I think, is a major component, not a major component, but a big part of what you do when you coach with people. So tell a little bit about what you do.
It is part of it. As I tell them to be genuine, that's where it has to start. You know, what is your mission? I start with, what is your mission? What is your vision? What is your vision in company? And then why? Because if you don't have that why, like really, like there has to be a really good, strong why to that, you know, gets you out of bed in the morning.
Right.
And if that why is not big enough, then it's not a good why. We need a new why.
Yeah.
Right?
You need to have that reason.
So what I do with my clients, I do different things. As a business consultant, I look at a business, the way where it's at, and I look at strategies of how to bring it to where it needs to be based on the goal of the entrepreneur. Sometimes my clients need more than just the business consulting, and we have to deal with the mindset. So then we go over that, because we can't touch a business if there's that in the way, because that's the biggest obstacle. So I always kind of try to find out where they're at, and when I ask what are the challenges, most of the time it's in here.
It's in the head.
And it's the little voices. That's why I said whatever little voice is happening. So we disqualify those voices. We go over through that process, and then it's usually within 5 minutes those beliefs are out the door, and we're already working on a strategy for. And sometimes some of my clients I just mentor. So some people like to call that coaching. For myself, I like to call it mentoring, because I feel like I do it slightly different than the rest.
Yeah. Fantastic. So if people want to get to know you more, where can they find you? And do you have some a free giveaway that you have offering?
I do and I don't. I do and I don't. I do. I have several websites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my main. I'm shifting everything. Speaking of personal branding, so there you go. Because I have more than one company and I have all these websites. So I have freebies and the others, but I'm putting them all under one. So if you go under my website, which is francescaanastasi.com. Do I need to spell that?
No, I'll spell it out on the video for you.
So francescaanastasi.com, and if you want a freebie, I do have the 7 Essentials to Entrepreneurial Success.
Perfect.
Download under the Confidence. So go scroll down, you'll see the Confidence link there. Click on there, and then there'll be a free download there that you can download that.
Excellent, because I think you have a lot of gifts to share with entrepreneurs, and I highly recommend that you get to know Francesca and follow her on social media as well, because she does fantastic. You provide a lot of value to your followers.
Thank you.
And I think that you'd be a great resource for people to tap into. So that's it for today's eTip, and if you have any questions at all about personal branding, go ahead and leave a message in the comment section below, and I'll notify Francesca and she'll come and answer your question. So that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for coming, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye for now. I'm with a very special guest, Anastasia. Oh, I said it wrong again.
That's
Anastasia.
Okay. No, it's Francesca.
Francesca. Well, Francesca Anastasia. Oh
No,
my gosh.
Francesca Anastasi.
Anastasi.
I know, everybody gets it
Francesca.
wrong.
I'm just going to say Francesca.
That's yes. Blooper. We
Blooper.
love bloopers. Keep it. I like this.
Okay, we'll start again.